Hello everyone, this is Yamin and welcome to Tech Knowledge. So Laravel 9 just released a few days ago, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about all the important feature of Laravel 9 that you need to know. There is some interesting feature that Laravel added in this update. So let me just create a Laravel project. So for creating a Laravel 9 project, again we just have to say here Laravel new, and you just need to say your project name. Let's say our project name will be Laravel 9. Let's press enter and it will create our Laravel project. And here you can see installing Laravel. Here you can see the version is Laravel 9. So I'm going to fast forward the video for now. So there you go, our project is installed. So let's go to our project directory. Let's say cd Laravel 9, and here you can see we are currently in the project directory. So let's say here php artisan serve. So this will run our project, and let me just copy this and let's go to our browser and let's paste it here. And this is the project, and here you can see the Laravel version. At the downside here you can see Laravel 9. So now let's talk about the Laravel 9 feature. So the first feature I'm going to talk about is controller route group, and this is the feature that I like the most. So I'm going to show you this controller route group with the example. So let's go and first create a controller. So let me just go to my project directory and let's open a CMD here and let's make a controller. Let's say php artisan make controller. Let's say our controller name will be home controller, and there you go, our controller is created successfully. And I already opened my project using Sublime Text, and here you can see if I go to app http controller, here you can see my home controller. So first of all, let me just go to my route, then web.php, and here let's add the controller at the top. Let's say use app backslash http backslash controllers backslash, it will be home controller. So now let's go down, and here we're going to create a few route. Let's say we'll create three routes. So let's say here route get, and here we're going to say let's say home. Then we are going to mention our controller name. It will be home controller. Then we say class, we'll give comma, and here we need to mention the function name. Let's say function name is index. And let me just copy this route and I'm going to paste it two times on and two. And let's say this route is actually post, let's say, and let's say it will be store. And let's say the function name, it will be you can say anything, let's say store. And for the last one, the method will be get, that's fine. And let's say here it will be show, and here the function name will be show as well. So here you can see that we create a few routes that all call the home controller. So in Laravel 9 we can make this code more simple. So for that case, all we have to do is that we have to say route double clone controller first bracket home controller, then we need to say class, then we'll say here group, then we have to give first bracket and end it with a semicolon. And after this, inside this group we are going to mention function. Function will give to first bracket and to second bracket. And inside this function, let me just cut this part and paste it inside the function. So here what we can do is that we can just remove this home class part, because we already have home controller at the top. So here let me just remove this and this start bracket as well, and from here and here as well. So here you can see the route controller, and here we mention the home controller, and inside this function we have some routes. So what will happen is that whatever route we write in this function, it will automatically assume that all those route function is actually pointing to this home controller. Okay, let me just go to a CMD here, and if we just say over here php artisan route list, press enter, and here you can see that for home we are calling the home controller, and for the show URL we are also calling the home controller, and for store you can see the home controller. And in the Laravel 9 you can see that the post and get color is different. Now it wasn't available in the Laravel 8. In the Laravel 8, all those color were, I think, black or white actually. So this way you can easily recognize that this is a post method and this is a get method. So this is the controller route grouping that you can do in Laravel 9. So after this, let's talk about anonymous migration in Laravel 9. So this is just a small update actually. So let me just show you with example. Let's just create a table. Let's say here PHP artisan make migration, and let's say our table name will be, let's say, create also student table, and if we press enter it will create a migration. And if we go to our database, then migration, and here you can see the student table. And here in this student table migration, here you can see return new class extend migration. Now in the previous versions of Laravel, it was a little different actually. In the previous version, I think it was class, I think create class create, it will be student, I think it was something like that. But in this version, the table name won't be mentioned about here. So this is just a small change that you don't have to actually remember it. I'm just letting you know that there was a change over here, and that's all. So this was the anonymous migrations. So now let's talk about Laravel new helper function. So let's go to our web.php, and here let me just remove this return view. So this is another small update. So let me just show it over here. Let's say return, and we're going to say str, and here we're going to say hello, and you can make it upper like this. Now in the previous Laravel version it was a little different. Okay, let me just show you what is actually happening over here. So what will happen is that we are saying over here upper, so it will make this text upper. So Laravel 9 make it easier. So if we just refresh here you can see hello, all the text is in the at uppercase. So you can also say here lowercase, or you can also say slug, and it will show you it okay as a slug. Okay, let me just say here hello all actually, then you will understand it. So here you can see there is a slug between them. So that was actually helper function. Now there is one more thing, and okay, let's just say over here return view. So okay, let me just copy this route, Control C, and I'm going to paste it here. And here let's say it will be, let's say, test, and here you can see that return view. Now here I want to redirect a view. So in the previous version of Laravel we need to say it like this: return redirect, then we just normally say the route name, and let's say the route name is test. Okay, I do not have mentioned the route name here, so let me mention the route name. It will be test. So here you can see that if we write slash test in the browser, it will automatically redirect to this route called test, and that is actually this one. Okay, let me just save it and show it to you. Okay, let me refresh. Here you can see this is the home view, and if I just say over here slash test, here you can see it return us back to these views. So now what Laravel 9 did is actually they just made this line a little bit simple. Return redirect route still works, but you can do one more thing, that is to underscore route. Now both of them basically do the same thing. If I just save it now, and if I just refresh, and if I just say over here slash test, press enter, here you can see both of them do the same thing, but this is just a shorter version. So this was the new helper function in Laravel 9. So now let's talk about the error page in Laravel, and I really like this error page. So let's say we made a mistake over here. Let's just remove the semicolon, let's save it, and let me just refresh here, and here you can see it is showing me a error, and that is like this. Here you can see syntax error, unexpected token, and something. And if you go down here you can see it is showing me the error at the top, and that is actually really nice. In the previous version it wasn't available like this. And if we now, let me just go a little down, and here you can see some other feature, client versions, cookies. Okay, so and the best feature of this is that you can actually choose the color of the error page. Here you can see light, and this is the dark theme. You can save it as well. And here there is one more feature, that is you can actually select the editor over here. You can see Sublime, TextMate, Emacs, and some other text editor. It will make your text editor more user friendly with Laravel. Somehow, I think the full feature is not released at the time of the recording. I think it will be released in few months probably. So this is the error page. Okay, let me just mention one more thing, and that is this share option. You can share your error at certain page. Here you can see stack, context, debug. You can just click create share and you can share your error. So this is all about the error page. So right now let's talk about rendering a blade string in Laravel 9. So this is another update. So and I don't know where we are going to use this, but let me just show you the feature. Okay, let me just remove this one. Let me just show you the render blade string example in this route. So here let me just say return blade, we'll say render. Let's keep two first bracket, and inside this first bracket we'll give two single quotation, two second bracket, and here we are going to declare a variable. Let's say dollar $value, and we'll give comma. Let's say old. Then we're going to give a comma, and here you can see we mention a variable over here dollar $value, and we're going to mention the value for the variable over here. Value, it will be equal this arrow sign, it will be let's say hello. So right now if we just save it, I think there's error. I think we need to this blade will be capital B, and we need to give this double clone. So let's save it now, and let me just refresh here, and let's say here slash test, press enter. So here you can see hello world, and this is actually coming from here. Here you can see value old, and here we are mentioning the value like this, value equal to, we said hello, that's why we got the message hello old. So this is another update, and I don't know where we are going to use this, but this is another feature actually. So right now we're going to talk about forced scope binding in Laravel 9. So this update actually will be really useful. So let me just show you with the example. So let's go and first create a model and the migration. So here let's say let's create a model. Let's say PHP artisan make a model. Let's say our model name will be post. Let's create the migrations, press enter, and there you go, model and migration is created successful. And if we go to our database in the migration, here you can see post table. So here let me just say dollar table. Let's just create some column, and it will be, let's say string. Let's say it will be title. Let's also make it nullable. Let me copy it, then paste it, and let's say we have a little description. I think that's fine, description. So and we're going to use foreign key from the user table. So let's say here dollar table, this arrow sign, and we're going to say foreign. If you are id, we're going to mention the id for, then we'll say user model name, we'll say class, and we can also do this as well. Let's say here constraint, this arrow sign will say on delete, it will be cascade. We can do this as well, or you can just say here nullable. I think okay, you cannot say nullable because this is a foreign key and we require a foreign key, that won't be logical. So here you can see that we have a post table, and in this post table we'll have title, description, and we'll use id from the user table as a foreign key. Okay, one more thing we need to do is that since we are using the user table, so we need to add the user model at the top. So let's say use app backslash models backslash user. So I think everything should be fine. So now let's migrate our table. So let's say PHP artisan migrate. Let's press enter, and here you can see all the table is migrating. So if we go to our database and let me just refresh here, and here you can see all the table. You can see post and the user table. If I go to the post table, here you can see user ID as a foreign key, and you can see title, description, ID. And if you go to the user table, you can see that the user table is also empty. Now in order to show you the example of post scope binding, I need some dummy data in the user and the post table. So I'm just going to pause the video, and I'm just going to insert some dummy data in the user and in the post table. So I'm just going to pause the video for now. So there you go. I insert some data in the user table. Here you can see ID on 2 3, and here you can see name. And if I go to the post table, here you can see the title and description. This is title on, this is title, description on, title 2, title 3, description 2 and 3. And here you can see the user ID 1, 2 and 3. So this title and this description is for the user on, this one is for the user 2, and this one is the for user 3. Just remember this, okay, because I'm going to show a example using this. So right now, okay, let me just go to my web.php. Okay, right now let me just remove this, and I'm going to use this as an example. So here we are going to say user slash, we'll give 2-second bracket, and inside it we are going to say user, then we'll say slash, then we're going to say post slash, and inside it we're going to say post. So here how to on is that we'll give a user ID and a post ID, and we want to see the post of the specific user. Okay, so here you can see function. So in this function, let's say it will, let's say here user, will say dollar user, then we'll give a comma, and let's say here post dollar post, and we want to see the post of a specific user. So we will return dollar post here. So if I now save it, and let's just go to the browser, and here in the URL we're going to say user slash one, then we'll say post slash on. So if I now press enter, it should show us this one, because this post ID is on and the user ID is on as well. So if I now just press enter, target class user does not exist. Okay, what I have to do is that we are using the user model and post model over here, so we need to use the route actually at the top as well. So let's say here use app backslash models backslash user, then let me just quickly add the post model as well, and here we're just going to say post. Save it. Now let's refresh again. So here you can see the ID, user ID is on, and the post ID is on as well. You can see this is title on, this is description on. But if I just change this ID over here, let's say we'll say 3, let's press enter, and here you can see there is an issue. What we want is that we want the post with the user ID on, but here it is showing the user ID 3. The post ID is fine, it is 3, but if for user on post 3 does not exist, it should show us something else like not found, 404 not found. We do not want to see something like this. So what Laravel give us is something called scope binding. So in that case, if we just write over here, you can see, if we just write over here scope binding, I think B will be capital in D I N G, and we need to add a S as well. So if I now save it, then if I just run the same thing, it will give us a error that something is wrong. But if I just keep over here on, it will still show us a error, because we need to add something in the user model. We need to specifically say in the user model that a user may have multiple posts. So for it, all we have to do is we say over here public function posts. we need to add a s at the end because we have s in the database. Then here we are going to say return dollar this. We'll give this arrow, we'll say has many, we'll say post class. So right now if we save it, so here we are actually saying that a user may have multiple post class, I mean multiple post data. So if I now save it, it will not give us an error. Let me just refresh, and here you can see for user id on and post on, it is showing us this. But if we just say over here, let's say 2 and press enter, and here you can see 404 not found, and this is the thing we want. And if we just say over here 3, and we are getting the same result. Let's change the user id this time. Let's use id 2 and post id 3. Let's press enter. Okay, now if I say post id 2 and user id 2, and we are getting this result. Here you can see user id 2 and post id 2 as well. So this was the most important new feature in Laravel 9. So I tried to cover, or I tried to explain everything as much as possible. So this may make this tutorial a little bit lengthy. So I hope you understand everything what I was trying to teach. So if this tutorial was helpful, please make sure to subscribe this channel, and I upload Laravel related video every week. So if you want to get notification of future content, then make sure to subscribe this channel, and thanks again for watching. Stay tuned and stay healthy.